Hey, Peyton, thanks for taking the time and speaking to us today. Really appreciate it. Obviously, everybody knows your story. A couple of years ago, you were a UNC commit and you flipped the state. It got a lot of attention. I think when we talked, when it happened, you talked about people on social media and you get a lot of comments from UNC fans. Do you still hear from them? Does that still kind of motivate you when you play those guys?
I mean, yeah, I hear from UNC fans all the time, just on social media and stuff, but I learned at a young age to not really bother with social media and stuff. Everyone's always going to have something to say. I wouldn't say that because, people on social media do not affect me at all. I don't lose sleep over them. So I wouldn't say that it motivates me to play harder. But, everyone knows that this is a rivalry game. So I think that is enough motivation to play and practice just a little bit harder.
Perfect segue. I want to ask you one more question about playing hard. We were talking to Joe the other day, and he said your intensity level is always at a 10 at practice, during the games, and everything. Where does that come from? Where does that fuel and that fire come from that you're always playing at high intensity level?
Well, as you know, I missed 2 years due to injury. And, I used to, before I got injured, football was just football to me. And I never really realized how fast something could be taken away from us. So every day I go out there, I look at it as if it could be my last day. But I've been happy with what I put on the field. And if I didn't put all my effort on the field, I know that I just wouldn't be able to accept myself.
Appreciate it, Peyton.
JB Ricks.
Hey, what's up, Peyton? JB Ricks here from Spectrum News 1. Thanks for taking out the time. Are you surprised at all by the numbers that you are putting up this year? I heard you just mention that you missed 2 years, so you probably have that mentality of maybe making up for lost time. Is that the case, or what is it that's going on within you to allow you to perform the way that you are in 2020?
Well, the main thing is I just want to thank God for blessing me, but also Coach Gibson, really the scheme. We have great schemes every week, and I have great guys making plays around me, fitting their gaps, spilling the ball out to me and stuff. Just everyone doing their job, so everyone's making plays. And also, like I was saying before, every play I do play, like it's my last. I'm trying to make that play. I don't want anyone to beat me to the ball. I would say if that's one thing that really helps me.
Right. And a follow-up question for you. North Carolina, they have all sorts of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I know you don't want to give up any game plans or any schemes like that, but where will you guys be focusing most on when it comes to having to contain the run game, contain the running back, contain the deep ball? What do you think will be the key to you guys succeeding against that offense?
I think just playing together more than a scheme, whenever we practice hard and play together, the defense, like the last few weeks, I think everyone's seen the defense has really stepped it up and matured. Schemes are always great. Coach Gibson and the other coaches do a great job of telling us what we need to do and who we need to stop, but it's just a matter of us playing together with one pack as one goal.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Andrew.
Hey, Coach Doran talked on Monday about you guys, the depth that you guys have in the locker at the linebacker position, and the way that you guys have been able to have a little bit of a rotation in games to keep you and Drake and some of the other guys fresh. How important has that been?
That's super important because, every day in practice, we have guys that are just as good as us and sometimes at other things better than what we do, So every practice we go out there and we have to perform our best, because if not, they could step up and outperform us and take our spot. So it's really helpful. So I feel like we have that friendly competitiveness within the linebacker room to make each other better. I really just think that them being able to come in game ready and play just as good as us really helps everyone out.
Sammy Batten.
Yeah, Peg, take us back to those knee injuries. I mean, they happened so close together. I mean, how frustrating was that time for you, and what was the toughest part of making that comeback from that?
I would say the toughest thing for me was the mental aspect. Physically, it's just a matter of rehab and waiting. But mentally, seeing your brothers and your friends go out there and practice and play the game that you've worked your whole life for, it really sucks. And I think that's one thing that I praise God for, that he put me through that, to understand that this game can be taken away really fast, So I would just say the hardest thing for me was the mental, just staying on top of everything and staying happy and just knowing that it was for a reason.
Yeah, just following up too. Did you play much baseball growing up, and what are the chances your brother might be able to get to see you play this weekend?
Well, my brother's coming to the game, but no, I didn't play baseball growing up. I played till like 5th grade, but it just wasn't for me.
Thanks.
Brett.
And Sam Howell put up some really good numbers against you guys last year. What kind of challenges does he present as a quarterback?
I mean, he's a big guy. You know, he stays up in the pocket. You know, he's hard to bring down. It just comes with wrapping and just good technique, but also he's one of the best throwers and most explosive college quarterbacks, you know, that we see today. He can throw the ball on a dime, but it's just a matter of knowing our rules and playing a game.
And a little earlier, you addressed the fact that you had once committed to Carolina and that situation. But does that make this game any more personal for you? I mean, it's a rivalry game, but how do you feel about this?
I take every Saturday the same, you know. Every Saturday is the same for me. We prepare the same. You know, I was telling someone earlier, you know, it is a rivalry game, so maybe people do have that extra edge. But I think that we need to look at every Saturday the same, whether it's UNC or not.
So there's no special. I mean, I'm sure you're close to a lot of the guys over there because of the recruitment process and everything. There's no special it to this game.
No, it's just it's UNC versus NC State. You know, it's just a normal Saturday for me, and I'm ready to play ball.
All right, thank you very much, Payton.
Yes, sir.
Jonas, you have something else?
I do. Peyton, when we talked to Coach Doran on Monday, he said, he's talking about your development. He said nowadays you're not just running into people, you're using your hands to get off blocks, you're slipping blocks better. Did it take time over the last couple of years for you to learn how to play the linebacker position like the right way?
Yeah, I think in high school it was just I was bigger than people, faster than people, so I was able to just get to the ball and bring people down. But now, you know, you have O-linemen that are almost just as fast as me, so it's a matter of technique. You know, playing with my hands last year, Coach Doran is right. I just used to run into blockers, you know, and sometimes that messed me up. I couldn't get off blocks. But now I'm just able to use my hands, hat and hands them, and then get off the block and make a play.
Charlie Mickens.
Good afternoon, Peyton. You were named Defensive Player of the Week in the ACC. You had a couple of interceptions. You intercepted Sam Howell last year. What does it make you so good about intercepting the ball? Seems like you get your hands on it, you don't let it go. What makes you so good at that?
I think it's just the effort aspect, you know. Last year, the play that I made, you know, I really wasn't supposed to be there, but it's just effort. And the 2 interceptions that I had this week, you know, one of them I just read them, but the second one, it was just effort, you know. Like, for me, my mentality is make that play every play. Like, wherever there's a play to be made, I need to make it.
Thank you very much.
So.
Andrew.
I did not have my hand up. I already asked my.
Rob McClown.
Peyton, we just had a Lehman here. I would like your input on what are you seeing from NC State's defensive line? What are you seeing from McNeil in particular? And is that giving you and your linebacker teammates the freedom to make plays?
Yeah, I mean, Aleem, not only Aleem, but CJ Clark and Josh Harris as well. You know, they're all huge guys that are athletic and they're fast, you know, so they take up a lot of blocks. And Aleem is just, I mean, he's one of the best in the country, as everyone knows. So I feel like an offensive line with him has to game plan so much differently than they would against someone else that it honestly just takes pressure off of us. They have to worry about him so much. Sometimes it's hard to get to us because he's so big, so strong, and so fast. But CJ Clark and Josh Harris also do a really good job of that as well.
All right, last question, Brett.
Yeah, I asked Aleem the same question, and I know you've only been around for one of these games, but Coach Doran is 3-0 in Chapel Hill. Is there any rhyme or reason as to why you guys are so good over there in Keaton Stadium?
Like you said, I've never played over there, so I have no idea. Saturday will be my first time.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. Thank you.